They shook your hand. They smiled that smile. And they said the words every working person is trained from birth to hunger for. We're giving you a raise. And you celebrated. Maybe you told your partner. Maybe you went out for dinner. Maybe you finally let yourself breathe. But here's what nobody told you in that office. What nobody puts in the press release. What the system is designed to keep invisible. A raise is one of the most efficient wealth traps ever designed. Not because your employer is evil. Not because you did something wrong. But because 3 invisible forces are waiting for you on the other side of that handshake. And by the time they're done, you will be poorer than before you got the raise. 3 forces, 1 raise, net result, 0. This is the wealth slate. And today we're going to show you the math they never taught you in school. Let's start with the first thief. Most people understand taxes. The tax bracket trap. What most people do not understand is what happens to a raise inside the tax system. Here's the story most people believe. I'm in the 30% tax bracket, so I pay 30% of my income in taxes. That's not how it works. That has never been how it works. And the fact that most people believe it is not an accident. In most countries, income tax works in progressive brackets. Each bracket only taxes the income inside that range, not everything you earn. The first portion of your income is taxed at a low rate. As you earn more, each additional dollar gets taxed at a higher rate. So a raise doesn't just give you more money. It pushes those extra dollars into a higher tax tier. And once you start crossing into 6-figure territory, your combined tax rate, federal taxes plus local taxes added together, can easily reach 40% or higher on every new dollar you earn. 40 cents of every new dollar can go straight to the government. So here's the trap. Let's say you earned $95,000 last year. Your boss calls you in. You get a $10,000 raise. Congratulations, you're now earning $105,000. Here's what you think you got, $10,000. But after taxes hit that raise at your marginal rate, the rate applied to your highest dollars earned, a significant portion disappears before you ever see it. In many real-world scenarios, that $10,000 raise becomes somewhere between $5,500 and $6,500 in your actual pocket. You think you got $10,000. You keep closer to $5,659. The government took nearly half of every new dollar you earned. You worked for that raise. You negotiated for it. You earned it. And nearly half of it left your account before you ever saw it. That's the first thief, but it gets worse. Because the tax bracket trap is predictable, you can calculate it. The second thief is far more dangerous. Because it operates on emotion. The lifestyle inflation spiral. The moment you get a raise, something shifts in your brain. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. We call it the lifestyle creep trap. It sounds like this. I can finally afford a nicer apartment. I deserve a better car now. We should take a real vacation this year. None of these things are wrong to want. The problem is the sequence. Your raise was $10,000 gross. After tax, you saw it somewhere around $5,659 in real take-home money. That works out to roughly $471 extra per month. But here's what typically happens in the 12 months following a raise. A better apartment costs an extra $300 per month. A newer car or upgraded payments cost an extra $200 per month. Dining out more, new subscriptions, another $150 per month. That's $650 per month in new spending, against only $471 per month in new income. You are now $179 poorer every month than before the raise. And because these feel like small, reasonable decisions, you don't notice. It happens slowly. Then all at once. You look up a year later and wonder why your bank account looks exactly the same as it did when you earned less. That's the second thief, and it works in partnership with the third. Because the third thief doesn't take your money directly. It takes your future. Now let's put all 3 thieves together and run the full autopsy on your $10,000 raise. Taxes took roughly $4,341. Lifestyle inflation added $650 per month in new spending. That's $7,800 drained in the first year alone. And the opportunity cost of that lifestyle inflation, compounded over 30 years, exceeds $214,000. You were told you got $10,000. In year 1, you are net negative $2,141. Over 30 years, accounting for the compounding you will never see, the true cost of that raise, spent rather than invested, exceeds $200,000, $10,000 raise, $200,000 true cost. That is the system working exactly as designed. Keep people chasing raises. Keep people spending raises. Keep people feeling like they're moving forward, while the gap between them and financial freedom quietly widens every year. Without exception. Without announcement. The hidden third thief. This is the one nobody talks about. Every dollar you spend on lifestyle inflation is not just a dollar gone. It is a dollar that will never compound. Here is a number that should make you put down whatever you're doing. $1 invested at 30 years old in a diversified index fund earning the historical average return of 7% annually becomes $7.61 by age 60. Now scale that up. That $179 per month you're overspending after lifestyle inflation? That's $2,148 per year. If instead you had invested that $2,148 per year for 30 years at 7% annual return, you would have $214,000. That is not a typo. $214,000 gone, not to a crash, not to fraud, not to some unforeseen catastrophe. To the slow, invisible, socially celebrated decision to upgrade your life the moment you earned more. That is the third thief. And it is the most expensive one. Now here is where the wealth slate is different. We don't just expose the trap. We show you the exit. Move 1. Pre-commit before the money lands. The most dangerous moment with a raise is the 48 hours after you receive it. That is when lifestyle decisions get made. Emotionally, not mathematically. Before your new salary hits your account, before you celebrate, before you plan, decide exactly what percentage goes to savings and investment. Not after expenses. First, before anything else. The rule we use on this channel: direct a minimum of 50% of every net raise increase straight into a tax-advantaged investment account via automatic transfer. Set it up before the first paycheck at the new rate arrives. If you never see it, you never spend it. Move 2. Give yourself one upgrade. 1. Then stop. Lifestyle inflation is not immoral. You earned more. You should enjoy more. The problem is not the upgrade. The problem is the unchecked cascade of upgrades. Pick one meaningful quality of life improvement. 1. Budget it. Own it. Enjoy it without guilt. Then hold the line on everything else. This is called conscious lifestyle design, and it is what separates the people who build real wealth from the people who earn more and feel exactly the same. Move 3. Make the raise do the one thing it actually can. A raise is not a spending event. A raise is a leverage event. If you take your $471 monthly net increase and invest just 50%, that's $235 per month, starting at age 30 at a 7% annual return. By age 60, $283,000. One raise, one decision, 30 years. That is not a fantasy. That is compound interest. The only force in finance that works for ordinary people the exact same way it works for billionaires. So here's the wealth slate verdict. A raise is not bad. A raise, managed correctly, is one of the most powerful financial events. But a raise, managed the way the system trains you to manage it, spent, upgraded, celebrated away, is a trap so elegant. It is so socially acceptable that most people will never see it coming. The tax bracket trap. You can fight it. Contributing to a tax-deferred retirement account reduces your taxable income, which can pull those raised dollars back into a lower bracket. This can recover hundreds or even thousands in tax. Look up the retirement account options in your country and use them this year. The lifestyle inflation trap. Beat it with one decision made before the money arrives. The opportunity cost trap. It disappears entirely the moment you choose to invest instead of spend. The system was not built for you to win, but the rules are public. The math is available. And the choice, now that you have the information, is yours. This is the wealth slate. Financial truth, told in black and white. If this changed how you see your next paycheck, subscribe. Because next week we're exposing something that will make this video feel like the warm-up. See you there. Before you go, if you have $1 sitting in a savings account right now, watch this video. Because what your bank is doing with that dollar while you sleep is the next thing they don't want you to know.